this any sooner than I have to, so we don't say anything we're not supposed to say.
Are we not on TV tonight?
He hadn't started.
Good evening. Today is Thursday, October 15th, 2015. The time is 19:08 or 7:08. This is the monthly meeting of the Beech Grove Redevelopment Commission. My name is Donald Webb. I am the president. I would like to first start by introducing our members, starting to our right.
Janice King, member?
Kathy Chappell, secretary.
Ron Moat, Vice President.
Mac Bellner, member.
Tammy, who's our non-voting member, could not be here tonight. It was her anniversary, so we will wish her a happy anniversary, Tammy. First off would be the minutes. Kathy has handed everybody a copy of the minutes from last month's meeting. Any questions, amendments, or anything on the minutes? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes as read.
So
or as-
moved.
as listed. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The
Aye.
minutes are approved. First up, we will go through, we have got bills of $22,253.88. The following bills go to the following people. Beech Grove Sewage Works, $7.50. TCA JMC Enterprises, $3,329.89. That is the turtle-friendly playground equipment we bought in the park.
Okay.
United Consulting, the Churchman Avenue project, that's $5,720. Peterson Consultants, $858.42. Crossroads Engineering for the Greenway, $560. Lewis and Caps, $12,002.90, and another one for $52.
What else included in that $12,000 bill?
Let me see here, because I think they did, there are detailed descriptions. Let's see. Why is this thing
I
stapled?
know, it just seems like we spend an awful lot of money on legal fees.
We do. Let's see here. Well, let's see here. Email communications, no charge. Review of Greenwood RDC support application, no charge for that. Attend RDC meeting, $182.
What's a support application?
Well, when we went, 2 weeks ago, this previous Monday, we went and met with the Greenwood RDC people, and we were talking about
Okay.
grants and stuff like
Okay.
that. So me and Robert went and kind of talked to them about their experiences of RDCs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is not all that different from ours.
No. Oh,
They're listed here, and there's different ones. I don't see the full thing, but we can get that from Robert if we need it.
I mean, I'm just
I don't-
curious as
I
to
don't
why we
disagree.
spend $12,000 a month on legal fees and we don't ask them to, I mean, we don't know what they're doing for that fee.
Right, I understand. I mean, we can get a more detailed explanation. I was hoping Robert would be here tonight, but I'll bring that up to him, and
Okay.
we can definitely discuss that at the next meeting.
More detailed.
Yeah, don't you think?
I don't
Well,
disagree.
I think that's
I-
a lot of
yeah.
money. That's a chunk of change. Not like
Oh, I agree.
1,200.
We spent more than I thought we'd spend this year in legal fees.
A lot more.
I agree.
Well, part of that was
I know.
defending ourselves against
Right,
accusations of,
but I'll make a note of that we bring that up at
Okay.
the next meeting.
That'd be great.
And so with that, I'd like a motion to approve what I've read it to be paid.
I make a motion to
Wait a minute.
approve.
I had another question.
Sure.
What were the other ones for besides the
Where'd
the playground?
the playground, and then
United Consulting.
United Consultants for Churchman Avenue.
Okay,
The Peters is Jeff Peters, he's the one who does basically tells us our tax revenues and
oh,
TIFs and all
yeah,
that.
okay.
And he's the one I've contacted to work on the budget. What was the other one I said?
Crossroads,
Crossroads is the
Crossroads we
green
know.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
and Lewis and Caps.
Lewis and Caps, and then the stormwater fee of
Okay.
$750, which
Okay, that'll break the bank.
it will.
Don't we wish they were all like that?
I do. So it's $2,253.88. I'd ask for a motion to approve the bills.
I make a motion that we approve as read.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Tell me the total again. 20.
I'm sorry, 2,000 or 22,000.
I was gonna say 22. You said- okay.
$22,253.88.
Okay, second time you said 2, and I thought, okay.
I'm sorry about
That's all
that.
right, that's all right.
So let me think here, I don't know what else I had on the agenda. So we paid the bills, I guess we'd ask the mayor if he has anything tonight. Sure.
Good evening. A couple things. The Main Street project, which is under the Redevelopment Commission, there's some bad concrete on the south side of the street. It's been marked, and starting the first of next week, they're going to remove that. There's several areas. Nothing's affected on the north side of the street. It's all on the south side, so that's going to be replaced over the next week or so. Was peeling, so it's not acceptable to NDOT. So NDOT is making the contractor replace it.
Any idea what caused that, Mayor?
I can speculate. Bad concrete possibly, but I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. They were talking about that. I was talking with Trent. They have begun the process of putting the application together for the Greenway, and he asked if the Redevelopment Commission could write a letter of support. If you are willing to do that, I'll give you the address of who you should send the note to.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
No.
No.
Just email me the address and I'll write it, and then I'll have Robert correct my grammatical errors and make sure it's correct, and then we'll send it to you or to Trent. I'll CC you and I'll CC Trent, or send it to Trent.
Send it to Trent, so that's
sir.
starting. The deadline to apply is November 25th.
Are we on pace to make that?
Yep. Yeah, we won't know anything until next February, but the deadline is November the 25th.
As part of that grant, do we have to have any money budgeted now up front?
No.
So we wouldn't really have to work on meeting that budget till next year if we have
Yes.
to? Okay.
Okay, good.
Another one is the roundabout at Arlington and Churchman. That's in the application phase as well. The Churchman Avenue sidewalk project is moving along. I think that they'll move that project up to 2017 instead of 2018 because of all the pedestrians that walk on that road. So that's a good thing. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. I had a little conversation today concerning the hospital property, and I'm not ready to talk about it publicly yet. But so we'll leave it at that. But that's about it. I don't know of too much else.
I think that goes for us too.
Yeah.
So,
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, what's that? No news is good news?
Yeah.
I guess why we're here, moving on to more or less general stuff. I guess I want to go over, I put together, because we're going to have to present to the city council, and I think November you guys are doing your budget, right? All the budgets to go through?
No, the budget was approved at the August 5th meeting.
I don't know if I can get our budget ready by November, but I wanted to talk about that tonight, and then our goals, because we have to submit an annual report to the city council and the mayor. So I've got the goal sheet, and Janice mentioned a couple of things that she thought should be added to it, but I sent it to you guys, and it'll be posted on our page, but again, I thought we did it last year to have goals for this year, and I wanted to show the results, and so is there any questions or anything that you guys want to add or see that should be different for 2015? I thought I pretty much covered everything, but my memory can always cause me to miss something. I mean, overall, guys, I think we had a pretty successful year. I mean,
Yeah,
there,
I agree.
there's a lot of things, and I will tell anybody out there, the other night, we went to the little Mexican restaurant over where the Noble Romans was, and then afterwards, my wife wanted me to drive through Beech Grove Station. And boy, they've got the asphalt down the base layer, and some of those units are getting pretty close to being ready to be sealed up to go inside, but very, very nice stone face on the bottom, and I mean, it's a nice looking facility, and, you know, it's a real credit to the people who were on the board in 2013 that voted for that, which were Ron and Kathy at that meeting. Were you there, Janice? And, you know, it's a real credit that we got that because, you know, there were some that didn't want that and wanted to use that to hurt the city, and it's a credit to you guys to stand up and vote for that, because, I mean, I'm excited about that, and, you know, there is a possibility that they may at some point in time want to buy that land from, what is it, Gangstead, is that it? To Garstang to Churchman Avenue, take over that and add more, so, I mean, it's exciting for our city that, you know, we're getting $8.8 million in development, and that'll be reflected on our rolls by 2017, so.
I really never thought that'd ever get approved. When we voted to do it, I really didn't think it would get approved, but
Oh, I agree.
that area just is so much nicer than just seeing piles of dirt.
Yeah.
I'm excited
doubt.
about
It's
it. I
gonna
mean,
make some great living for some people that,
I think that's gonna be that's gonna be one of the nicer areas in Beech Grove. And I mean, you look at the way it's set up, it's gonna be neighbor friendly. I mean, it is, like I say, I wanna give a shout out to, you know, Mary Hada and that group, because, you know, we gave her a lot of grief and they
She did
stuck
have a
with
little
us.
frustration, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
We stuck with her, so, you know, I wanna thank her for her group sticking with us. And like I say, I'm excited to see what this place looks like next spring. And, again, I'm happy about what we've done with the parks, the new bathroom. It's fantastic. New carpet at the community center, which, you know, again, people use these things. So we didn't really, we fell short on the sign grant, but again, I think we're still trying to figure that out. And it takes a lot of time, but I mean, at least we're thinking about it, so.
Yeah, but think about where we started. I mean,
Exactly.
2 years ago, wasn't it, when other people were on the board? We did nothing but go round and round and got
Yeah,
nothing
spun our wheels.
accomplished.
meeting after
Endlessly.
meeting
Yeah.
after meeting, you'd wonder why you even
Yeah.
went, because nothing was getting
So
done.
it's nice that we're starting to do things for the community.
Oh,
I
I
think
agree.
so, too.
I am thrilled with what you guys have done, and
I hope so.
Yeah, I sincerely do.
But yeah, so I listed all that. Couple of things, we didn't get any council members to come. We had, I think, Mr. Davidson and Mr. Bell who came to our Greenway presentation. I couldn't think of any others that came. And that's disappointing. Now, you know, Greenwood, one of the things I found interesting is they do have council members that serve on their RDC.
That would be a good idea, at least have.
I don't think it's a bad idea, because if you look, the RDC has a fair amount of money and influence. And I guess to me, that's still a goal for 2016 to get more involvement from them. I think it's important. And we're gonna have substantially, I think, 5 new council members. Is that correct? At least 5. So 5 out of the 7 will be brand new to the city council.
So there are 5 of them that aren't going back out for election?
Right.
I mean, I
Mr.
haven't paid
Jennings,
attention.
Mr. Davidson, Ms. Stewart, Ms. Coates, and who's the 5th? Mr. Mobley.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so all 5 of those are not running, so we're gonna have new faces and possibly new faces on the RDC as well, so, you know, I think that's a goal for the future RDC, but the only thing I listed for 2016 was continue to work on the Greenway.
You know what would be nice, sorry,
No, you're fine, you're fine.
is our meeting before the election?
This is the last meeting before the election.
So the election will take place. Too bad, because I thought it would be cool to get them, everybody that's running, to maybe come and talk to us about what they would like to see happen with the RDC and what they would like to see us contribute for the,
Maybe that should
be
be
kind of
one of our first
interesting.
meetings in 2016 is,
But maybe we could have the new people come and talk
Yeah.
to us about what they like to see us do. And
I'd like that.
Well, I have no, like I say, they'll be electing a new RDC in January, the first meeting, so, you know.
Yeah.
Well, if we're working well together, I'd like to think they'd keep us all together.
Oh, you never know.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, for 2016, and again, this is the goal this board's setting for next year, continue work on the Greenway, support and have public meetings, and keep the process moving along. Assist with St. Francis Hospital area should a resolution come about, and that's, you know, that is a wedding that you don't know if it'll ever take place. It seems like one day they're on, the next day they're off, but we're gonna be ready in case they are. We'll continue to work on the Main Street sign grant. We've started diving into the idea of grants and how we use them and write them. I think that's something that we could move along next year. I think it's a real possibility. You know, and again, we talked about possibly a grant program to help businesses either coming into Beech Grove or that are in Beech Grove. I still think that's a worthy idea. I mean, impressive prototypes, as much as we like to help them, we just couldn't. And again, we don't have the infrastructure. And that's, in talking to the city of Greenwood, that's what you really realize is our RDC is small and it doesn't have the infrastructure. I mean, I know people have grand plans of, well, the RDC should do this and that, but truth be told, we have no administration staff and we are limited in our means, so you're limited in what you can do.
So did they decide not to come to Beech Grove? Do we know?
I have not heard. I did not hear if that building sold.
Do you know? We don't
I mean, I guess my problem with it was, I had no problem with the education grant, and I was willing to work with Dr. Kaiser on that, but as I discussed, you know, I have a problem with putting it all up front.
Yeah.
And that just did not work for me. You know, and so, I mean, again, I'd be happy to work with Michael in the future. He seems like a great guy, and his company seems like a good company. You know, and working in the future, hopefully we can build that infrastructure to where we will be able to help companies or businesses. And I'd still like to do a workshop. I thought that one we had that one fall was really pretty good. And I think it's good to get the different departments in Beech Grove together, at least for one Saturday, and at least discuss and try to figure out where we can help each other and what we can do with Beech Grove. Because I think sometimes that can be a problem. If everybody's working together, it's easier, but, you know, next year, like I say, we'll have a new board, a new excitement, new all that, so it might be possible, but this is what I had. And, you know, if you guys don't have a problem with it, I'm planning on submitting this,
Sure.
whatever edits you guys have, and I'll submit that at the November 1st meeting. Or is it, I don't know if it's 1st or what day it is. Excuse me. And then the budget, I was gonna talk about that briefly. I'm working on it.
Let me just say thanks for putting this together.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
think
not a
it's great.
problem.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Well, I think in the past, we've sat here and talked for what seems like hours and hours and hours and hours and gotten nothing done. We need to be able to show that this board has created results, and we're trying to be
I
positive.
think I ought to write this up and us publish it in the Southside Times.
I would have,
I think then the public can read.
I don't disagree with that. I think, you know, I think there's been some real negative stuff said about the RDC that isn't necessarily fair. And I was gonna discuss this. At last month's city council meeting, a gentleman got up and was roughly a 3-minute taped conversation of edited conversations we had over various meetings. They were very much out of context, and I felt like they were used to try to insult the RDC and make us look like bad people. As a matter of fact, the gentleman called for an investigation
Of what?
of the RDC, that he implied that we were somehow either doing illegal or unethical things to the board.
There was nothing identified in what he said, like, he did not identify which meetings, who the people were. Talk about a lack of transparency. It was really, and I was sitting out there, and there were people around me who, we didn't know what was happening for the first couple, you know, I don't know, maybe a whole minute of the tape before we realized that something was being played into the microphone. So it was really a pointless exercise.
Did he even preface what he was doing?
No, that
Just
one of
got
the
up and
council
started
members
playing this
mentioned that.
stuff? This person just got up and started playing this stuff?
It was
The
really
things
a,
he said that we weren't doing right, unethical, non-transparent, he didn't give you examples of those.
well, just what was on the tape, but
But he didn't say, now this is,
His implication was, because Tammy, I believe the meeting had adjourned when Tammy was telling us a story about an incident that had happened. And Tammy made the comment of, I hope we're not taping. And it wasn't to try to cover up anything, it was that,
It wasn't for public,
it was for us, it wasn't for public
Right.
consumption, the meeting had adjourned.
Right.
And she also stressed to me, because I had mentioned that this was said, that she didn't want anything negative about Beech Grove, because she cares about her community.
Of course.
Well, this gentleman implied that, no, the RDC is trying to cover things up, and that there ought to be an investigation.
Well, the interesting thing is that, 6 of us sit here, 5 of us vote, and it would take all 5 people to decide to do something wrong, and seriously, what value would it be anyway? I mean, we can't do anything without
We
all
don't
of
have
us
anything
voting
to
on it.
gain.
We have nothing to gain by it.
Well, and again, everything now they have, I don't know why, and I haven't asked, but usually these are put on the website to list everything that's paid, and January, February, and I think March's are there, but from April till now, none of those have been posted. I don't know why, I haven't asked. If a citizen out there would like to ask, that's fine.
Who normally posts those?
I believe that's Dan.
Okay.
But I have not asked, I figure, it'll get out there eventually. And if a member of the city wants to come and review those are public records. They're open to review.
Sure.
But when I heard this, I went ahead and wrote a letter, and I think I've distributed. If not, I will give you each a copy of it. And if you guys are okay with it, I was gonna give it to the mayor to give the city council. And I don't have to read it. We don't have to even discuss it at the city council, but I wanted at least something on a rebuttal to what has been said about us. I have a real issue with tape recordings, and this happened in the April meeting too.
There.
Yeah. And
Maybe that would be one good reason why we have a member of the council here.
I agree.
So that we actually have someone who say, I was there and there was nothing ever.
I want to
Good
ask
idea,
something
Jess.
bottom line about this. Is it okay for someone to have like a tape recorder in his pocket and be recording people's conversations without?
Under Indiana open door law, we are taping right now. Anything we say, good, bad, or otherwise, it can be played anywhere.
Yeah, for
Because-
the meetings,
Right.
fine, but this was a recording that was made essentially surreptitiously of conversations that were going on. And at least one of them was not during our meeting, it was a conversation after the meeting. And so I just, that seems,
Well, my other question
Really
is,
untoward to me.
if he's manipulating these tapes to say things that were never said, I don't think
Well,
that's
no, they were
legal.
said, but I'll give you an example.
He edited
Yeah, but
it.
if you can pull,
Tammy
if you
told
say
her-
3 sentences and I pull 1 sentence out of that conversation, and
Well,
that's what
that's-
makes you look guilty, that's not,
If you listen to the tape, I believe it was purposely designed to try to get at Mayor Buckley, because it was focused on, Tammy was telling a story about safety, because remember we had talked about putting cameras in the park to improve safety.
Right.
We improved that. Tammy was telling that story. Well, he plays that story, and then he cuts into where, and I'm not even sure, it must have been 1 or 2 years ago, and I think it was when we were having the town, or the meeting, and we were talking about fire equipment and consolidation, because it had been in the news that Beech Grove was talking about that. And I talked about how I didn't think it was a bad idea as a citizen. I'm entitled to
you're entitled
express-
to your opinion.
to express my view, and, and that was my view. But again, he was playing it as Mayor Buckley supports this, or Mayor Buckley supports that, and I think that's what this was about. And I do think, I want to ask either as a citizen or as the RDC that recordings no longer be no longer allowed to be played at a forum, especially if they haven't been reviewed, because it was out of context, and it wasn't designed to inform, it was designed to hurt, humiliate,
Attack.
or degrade. And,
really it
I
was
see
an
people
attack.
gripe all the time about negativity in Beech Grove, and this gentleman has gone out of his way to do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And I think it's time to stand up to bullies like him.
So is his intention to help get you not reelected or help you get reelected? Not get reelected.
He told me back in 2013, when he decided that, and he had convinced me that, Mary Hotta and the NRP group was a bad deal, that the mayor would hate us because we had destroyed this development, and he seemed happy about it then, like it was a chance to hurt him, and, I think he's mad at the mayor because he felt like the mayor owed him something. And he's just, like I say, and I told you what happened when he got mad at me. You know, there was personal retribution and, you know, police report filed and all that. So, you know, he's still unhappy about not being on here, but I want the council, granted how much time they have left, I just think in the future that nobody should be allowed to come up here and just play a recording without any context or not being reviewed either by the city attorney or someone. Speaking your mind is one thing, but, you know, playing people's words and what they've said out of context, I have something seriously wrong.
Well, the thing is, an individual speaking about something is not speaking for the RDC nor participating in the
Right.
meeting. That's a separate issue unless we're a group of 5 or 6 representing the RDC.
Right.
It's just like, you know, being on the school board, the same thing. As an individual, you're nothing. You have to be representative of everyone there.
And
To
respectful.
be heard. Mhm.
You see anything wrong with what we said, Mr. Mayor?
I don't see why you don't even say the individual's name. I mean, he
Well,
certainly
it's in the
doesn't
letter.
mind bashing anybody else in public.
Oh, I know, and, you know, and like I say, I'm trying to get better at ignoring these things and get
I
tough
know.
skin, but, and that's why I admire the people that run for office, because you know, we all make mistakes, but
Sure.
the level of just downright hatred and viciousness that I've seen, you know, and what's funny is this gentleman posted it on social media, and, you know, it's there, and like I say, you see what people say because it's so out of context, you know, well, the RDC is doing this and that, and the truth is, as we can see, anybody can come to an RDC meeting, anybody, and we are very transparent. If they can't come, most of our meetings have been on TV. You think about when we got here, we weren't even allowed to put the tape up, you know, of them.
Right.
And now, you know, we have them on TV, and I don't think we've ever cut anybody off from speaking. We've always let people speak their minds who have shown up. So I don't know what we've done that's so wrong that's drawn the ire of 2 open door complaints.
Well, if they care about the community and they either like or don't like the RDC, be here.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
here.
maybe this is a good sign as a reaction
Maybe.
to all of that people don't feel the need to come here and check it out for themselves because they,
Truth be told, Mac, if I went door to door of 10 houses in Beech Grove and asked them if they knew what an RDC was,
Oh.
9 of them would have no idea. They'd think it was a
Probably so.
rap group or, you know, maybe it's a company. I'm just saying, you know,
I think you're probably right about that.
nobody, you know, because we're not,
well, then we need more PR,
well,
like people
thinking
do
we're
need
getting
to know
start
about our
publishing
goals, our
something in
record
the
and our
paper.
goals.
Good
Once
idea.
a month or
Yep.
every other month about our accomplishments, what we're working on. I'll do that.
I mean, like I say,
I'll wait till you present that to the city council.
but I mean, I guess overall, I'm just, like I say, I'm thankful for you guys, and I think we really have done a decent job at putting money that's gonna matter to Beech Grove. And like I say, if you get a chance to drive out and drive through Beech Grove Station, it is gonna be a nice place for seniors, low-income seniors. And it's important, because like I say, you know, our population is graying, and, you know, it's important that they have a place to live. And, you know, we've got this area that was totally uninhabitable that we're gonna have people living now. And I just, you know, there's not much vacant property left in Beech Grove, and we managed to get houses built on it, so.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, so what are you asking our opinion as to whether or not this should be?
I guess, you guys have seen the letter. I would ask if you guys mind if I submit it to the mayor and the city council.
No, I'm all for it.
I absolutely believe that it should be
We
presented.
vote on that?
Well, let me ask you another question. Would it be better to submit a letter? Would it be better for all of us to go to the city council meeting and say something at the meeting instead of just sending a letter?
We could
Maybe
do that.
both.
We could do that. The only thing I would tell you is we could not talk together, we could not sit together, because
No.
if more than 3 of us were in one group, it would be considered a meeting. And if it wasn't public notice, somebody could say, oh, look, there's Janice, Kathy, and Ron meeting. The RDC is up to something. So we would have to follow open
That's
door, and that
fine.
we could say hello to each other, I assume. That's not criminal, but you know what I mean? I guess all 6 of us just could not, or 5 of us could just not sit in a group.
Well, besides that, with this presentation, it's in writing, and you can read it and reread it and see what was said. if we are speaking, people hear what they want to hear, and they misconstrue what they hear. So I think it's really important that it be presented in writing, especially.
You guys.
Yep, I'm for that.
Like I said, I think you just need to stand up to bullies, so.
Yep.
So I guess I really don't have a lot else. Like I say, I think realistically, the budget will probably be in the November meeting, and we'll submit it to the city council for approval, of course. The only thing I would say about the budget is if you guys have any ideas on things we want to do, I was going to make the budget light next year, just for a simple fact, we don't know about funding of the Greenway.
Right?
We don't know about St. Francis.
Right.
And I think we're gonna have probably about 130,000 once we clear, so, you know, I figure if we kept it light, and I'm gonna talk to, Robert
that-
about also keeping the lawyer bills light next
I
year.
was gonna say, is that minus legal fees, or is that?
I haven't, it's not minus, I think it's about 130 to 150, I think. I'll have to look, that's why I've gotta I've got a note into Jeff Peters, but my work is just, we have been incredibly busy, and I just haven't had time to really
Sure.
dive into the budget, but I mean, I want to keep it so we can spend, you know, like if an impressive prototypes comes in, or we can get this grant going, you know, we can put, you know, but if we get to, like, say, we find out we get the grant for the Greenway, and we need 160,000 right off the bat, I want to make sure that we at least have the resources there to do it after we've asked for this grant. Or St. Francis, hey, we need $50,000 for this to do this. You know, I want to make sure that the city and the RDC is in a position to help if that building gets sold, or if they need some help, that we can help, is my thoughts. So I'll work on that and try to have a budget. Like I said, I've talked to Jeff about it. And like I say, it does look like in 2017, 18, from what I've seen, our revenues will go up a little bit. So the assessed valuation of Beech Grove continues to climb.
Yeah,
and
but Lowe's has put in for
that's the other reason I worry.
Reduction.
Lowe's and Walmart.
Walmart to follow suit,
And that's another reason why I think we probably need,
ultra conservative.
yeah, for at least the next few years. And you know, it may be that the legislature fixes that, but yeah, there's a real if we lost those two, it would be devastating. I mean, it would really hurt, so.
Right.
You know, being fiscally responsible is something this board, I think, has always done, and is a good thing, so.
Right, I do too. I'm proud of it.
Well, does anybody have anything else? If not, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We are all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful night.